Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This, my friends, is the grandpappy of the modern computer. This is the original IBM PC. We have an Intel 88 processor in here. Wait a minute, 8088. Yes, 8088. That is correct, 8088 processor. We have an 8087 math coprocessor, and also known as a numeric coprocessor or math accelerator, depending on who you talk to. But it's an FPU. Oh my goodness, I just noticed something. The motherboard's upside down. Oh my god, all the electrons are going to fall out. Man, Dave Jones likes to say that, and I like to watch Dave Jones. So we'll give him a nod. Thank you much. Go check out his channel, EEVblog. It's awesome. And by the way, this was a free and unpaid plug. We have the CPU right up here. That's what that little package is. Intel 8088. Oh my god. That doesn't say Intel. Oh my goodness. That says AMD. AMD's been making Intel chips. No, really. AMD actually acquired the masks from Intel to make these chips way back in 1982. There was a very good reason for that. When IBM said, hey, Intel, we want to start making your chips. We need you to make a deal with somebody else, maybe a little drug deal, be nice and quiet about it. We don't want exactly everybody thinking we're doing this. But we need to be safe, man. We need to make sure we have more than one source for those chips, just in case, like, there's a natural disaster, a flood wipes out your factory, you can't make any more CPUs. We got to have more so we can keep making money. And that's exactly what happened. Intel went to AMD and said, hey, AMD, I know we hate you and you hate us, but we got to make some money. I make some money, you make some money, we'll share some money. It'll be good all the way around. So that's what they did. They worked together. Well, not really. The chip was already designed by Intel, but they worked together in a business sense to make a lot of money. And this, my friends, is a RAM expansion card. You'll see right here it says 64-256 KB memory CD. That's memory card. Plugs into your motherboard just like any other expansion and gives you a maximum of 256K or 64K depending on how you load the card out. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our next card. Ooh, the magic of editing. Special effects. Awesome. Okay, that was my hand sliding it into view. But you might notice this looks nearly identical to the last one. You spot the differences? Besides the nice and shiny bits. This is a slightly earlier model, if you can't tell. That's because you have this little bodge wire. Somebody screwed this up and they had to actually fix it on the assembly line. Somebody sat with a soldering iron and actually had to fix it so it would work. Now you have all these little switches over here, and this is so you can actually dial in how much RAM you're supposed to have. And it says right here, oh boy, I can't read that. I forgot to put my glasses on. A19, A18, A17, A16. Those are the addresses for the card. So you'd have a different address for each one of these memory expanders you had. Below that, you have 64 kilobytes, 128 kilobytes, 190 kilobytes. Is that right? 196? No, that's not right. No, shit, it's 190 kilobytes. I can't do math in my head. I'm sorry, and I can't read that small. 256K is the last dip switch setting. If you notice on this board, just like every other board we seem to be looking at today, all the traces run east and west on one side, and on the other side, they run north and south. If you want to know why that is, it's pretty much the easiest way to lay out these two-layer boards like this and not have a whole lot of issues. They would slap, the basic layout together in a computer and run an auto router. Those early auto routers were garbage. And they screwed things up. This bit of kit will go pretty quick. This is the video card for this bad boy. You might see down here it says mono graphic. that is monocolor, as in black and white. Right here it says printer non-flicker. What on earth is that? This thing has a little output port right here. Get that autofocus. Yep, the autofocus is working. That is the connector that goes to your specialized monitor. And that one right there is for your printer. Man, somebody was smoking some crack when they decided to come up with that genius idea. Yeah, let's make a video card that's also for your printer. Yeah! And here we have another expansion card. This is the diskette expansion card. You plug this into the computer. Over on this side over here, you would plug in a handy dandy little cable that is a nice big ribbon like that. Oh, Jimmy the camera, earthquake! Now, you have this little cable here, slides over into the side of the card, and there's something like that. Poof! And then you plug in these sides over into your floppies. Yeah, real genius, and it actually worked quite well. As long as you didn't do it a million times and eat up the contacts, these things would, operate just fine. Over here we have a specialized custom Intel chip just for doing floppy disk handling. Everything else on here is pretty much your standard Jelly Bean logic. These little guys, I'm not entirely sure what they are. They're custom IBM part numbers. I've never even seen that package before. I might have to pop those cans off and see what's inside there. Maybe a hybrid, type thing, or a chip on board, or chip on a ceramic substrate. Who knows? We'll figure it out one of these days. Some of this old technology is kind of interesting. You see some very bizarre things here and there. Now, let's go ahead and look at our next board. Did we look at the extender yet? This thing is basically stuffed full of glue logic. There really isn't anything special to it. But you would plug this in. There'd be a cable that goes right here. A standard D-type connector. If we can get autofocus to work. Autofocus, hello. No, autofocus isn't going to work today. Run away. Okay, maybe we'll try it again. Autofocus, autofocus. There we go. Beautiful. That is a lot of pins. Anyways, now we're done with that board. It just has a little connector, goes off here, goes to another box, and you have a whole bunch more ISA expansion slots in there. Maybe throw in a couple of hard drives or floppy drives. It's some good stuff. And here we have a really old school floppy disk drive. Check that out. Hey, yeah. And there's the circuit board for it. I'm really not going to dive too deep into it. There's some drivers that actually pushes power to the various stepper motors and everything. Yes, all the heavy-duty wiring, big cast zinc frame. And there's kind of something a little interesting here. If you notice on the main spindle over here, it says what? Oh, that's upside down. How about over there? Is that better? It says 60 hertz, 50 hertz. That's for a strobe light. You flash a strobe light at 50 or 60 hertz, and you can actually time this to make sure everything's on the hunky-dory. And then you put a little plastic window in there so you can see the going-ons and the goodies. Yes.